You're just in time. Saved you a seat for the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. And what I continue to hear that is stopping most guys from getting into their own process for self improvement is this idea of the invisible man. That we have so many men, adult male human beings, American men, that feel like it wouldn't make a difference if they were here or not. That you are just floating through existence, watching things happen as you go by them. And for all the things that you would want happening for you, to you, it seems impossible. It seems like there is no way, no hope, that there's really nothing to live for in this sense. Men that no matter what I'm doing, nobody cares. There is no one in my life, and it's just me, myself, and I every single day. I mean, yes, this does kind of tie into a very, what seems to be a very popularized problem now of the male loneliness epidemic. But I am seeking to strike at just one of the core components of modern male suffering today. And that is the single statement killing so many of us, you, me, and so many of our brothers. And that is, there is no reason for me to try. Right there, this is my own personal belief, but I see so many men that do not actually believe in that. So you can have a guy saying this, and he's clearly projecting this outwards into his external reality. People who meet him, whether they know him very well or this is a one time, passerby acquaintance situation, maybe something in the middle. You got some coworkers, you got some friends, colleagues, classmates, what have you, that know you, but you guys just don't really talk. And no matter who it is, the way that this guy, this just a hypothetical man, I'm going to use to start building my argument here, is he will go around and he exhibits characteristics and personality traits of I am intentionally not caring and giving no effort in appearing to the world that I am completely disconnected from this. I mean, there is an actual term for this, I believe. Men go their own way, or MGTOW has been around for a while now, but no, it's not even necessarily that. This is more specifically the checked out man, men checking out of everything, society itself. This is employment, dating, education, training of any kind, really, to kind of go and do their own thing. Some men would even they would go so far as to say that is the only way a, a man in the 21st century can live his best life. And that could not be further from the truth. Because when you go about life in this way, that no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, no matter how much effort I put into my life, not only will it not amount to anything, not only will it not take me anywhere, I won't get anywhere close to the hopes and the dreams and the goals that I really have for myself. On top of that, a double layered nightmare, so to speak, on top of this is no one cares. there isn't even anyone in my life to share this with, even if I were to put in all that effort and try so hard every single day. The daily routines and the positive habits and the discipline and the motivation and the hard work, the focus, the effort, the concentration. It's so much. It really, I mean, that is, you know, everything I kind of quick fired right there is scratching the surface of self improvement. But what I believe is actually behind is this is a man, for whatever reason, you could attribute this to so many different things, but it all traces back to an inability to love oneself. I The more I think about this and the more that I observe this in society, just our fellow kings, and most often just in myself, you can't go around the work. That is impossible. And that's, really not that deep. Many men would acknowledge, yeah, okay, if I really do go for this, live, try and hit the best quality of life I'm always touting just about every single episode, and try and really go for the gold. Oh, this is you could say a complete life overhaul. There will be so many different things I'm going to have to try to do every single day. Yeah, no, right? A lot of guys are like, oh, yeah, sure. I see the work. It's clear. It's not even, it's not like really blurry or confusing, or it takes a lot of thought or analysis. No, I see the checklist. I'm good. No, what? Who, who would I be doing this for? What would I be doing this for? That's the lie right there. Very maliciously deceptive, I would say, because there are so many things that any man could dedicate his self improvement towards. But I would say the number one thing that absolutely should come first is yourself. So if this is true, then the real problem, the true issue here, is self image. It is the way that you view yourself, bro, or for any man that's going through a similar problem. Okay. Now, if you're with me on that, if my little conspiracy theory is true, most guys, it's not that they're unwilling to put in the work, and it's not that they don't want their best life or they don't want to self-improve. I'm saying it as bold as a statement this may be. I believe that's the majority of us. It's the minority that truly, kind of want to just, lay down and give up. The majority, no. Yet, statistics, data, studies, I mean, if you really just take a long look, around you, wherever you live, then it definitely appears to be the majority is, again, checked out. So, checking out to me is you do not want to experience your own reality because you believe the vessel you have embodied in order to live it is broken in some way. It's just deformed. It is useless. It's just not the right one. Who I was born as, into this, how puberty ended for me. This is what my genetics gave me. This is how my life turned out. The choices and the decisions, whatever, again, a number of reasons. But the point is, you end up at the end of it all with you as you are now, right here, in this present moment. And it's in this present moment, guys, they think about themselves. They maybe pass by a mirror. They just visualize, I mean, okay, that would be my best life. That's what I want. Those are my dreams. This is what I'm going to have to do to try to pull it off. And then it always immediately turns to, but I can't do that. So, right there, the I, right there, that actually doesn't, I don't see that as having anything to do with the dreams, with the work. No, that would have everything to do with the man. This is this is how you hold yourself, bro. And if any of that's true for you, for anybody struggling through this, I can't do it because of this reason. You know, I'll start with the super super shallow stereotypical ones, but I'm too ugly, I'm too short, I'm not athletic enough, I'm not smart enough. I never did well in school. I'm not a book smart guy. I have trouble focusing. I'm too addicted. I can't really stay sober. I and it just keeps going. It keeps going, and it's all reinforcing this this image of yourself that nothing can be done, that you are helpless, that it's over. I think all the Zoomer Kings coined that one. Oh, it's so over, where the race has already been lost before you take your first step across the starting line. See, that, yes, of course, you can believe this. You can take that as the truth of your life. But I mean, even in my little, metaphorical example right here, it doesn't make any sense. That is not actually possible. You can only lose the race if you run it. And so men are saying, but I will. But I will lose. I know I will. It's a guarantee. That's my justification for never running it. It just so this is kind of a cycle of death, and it loops on itself, and it hurts so bad. Where the misery really it um, digs into a man viciously is, I see my best life and I deny my best life because I believe or I know I can't have it. And so I don't do anything about it. And every time I think about it or look at it, or it just somehow finds a way back into my life to interrupt my reality and remind me, oh, but you actually want things to be like this. That is all on top of super, super deep down, maybe within the very depths of the soul of a man. He actually does want it. It's just the reason why he won't allow himself to entertain that true desire in the heart. I really do want to be better. I really do want to lead an excellent life for myself. It's halted. It's halted by this core belief. Men, whatever, whether a man does it or it's done to him, nonetheless, he is conditioned in a way where that core belief is, I can't. There's no reason for me to try because the outcome has already been decided inside the man's head. You know, for him, this journey, this process, this great marathon has already been lived, and the outcome is no. But that's not true. You can tell yourself that, and you can beg for this to be as true as you want it to be, that will never make it so. It is an entirely false premise based on really just a lie. That's what it is. Just a massive, just a colossal lie. And so, why is it so strong? Why are so many of us using it every single day to prevent ourselves from trying this this inclination or maybe even bias towards doom? I believe it is because it is just really easy. I believe that this makes things really simple for guys. And so, what I mean by that is it's a lot easier to say, I never did anything for myself because I knew all of it was pointless. I knew that even if I tried as hard as I could every single day for the rest of my life, nothing would ever come of that. So, that is, I mean, this is, really just, my personal take on this. That is so much easier than saying, I'm afraid of what I do not know. And I'm afraid of what I have not yet experienced in life. I I don't want to deal with all of the millions upon millions, who knows how many of steps it will actually take for me to witness truly what will happen to my life at the very end of it if I gave it everything I had. I I don't want to try and then find out at the very end no one and nothing was ever waiting for me. I don't want to be disappointed. I'm afraid of the pain of being disappointed or failing or having people judge me or laugh at me or oof, you know, maybe the worst one is proving people right. I would never amount to anything. It's so much. It's so much of it's so much of things, so many things that are just not a part of our reality. It's so crazy to when you really unpack it. And that, I mean, that is my sole objective tonight, to reveal all of this as clearly as possible so you can see what's really happening here. Maybe this is you, and I would love for, if it could click, and I mean that would help you do wonderful and awesome things to yourself. I mean, really, really take all the negativity and you run with it. And see, that's the thing, and you let it run. You let it go as far as it can. Because I believe no matter how far negativity can take it, it will never be able to reach the truth. The truth is almost this ultimate positivity that shines on you. It will enlighten you, bro. It will literally change your life for the better. This is like literally to see the light, to have your life light up. Okay, I will back up for just a second though. For that to happen, then first, by all means, I would say, like really, it's fine. I mean, you kind of want to be careful. There's really no need to, beat yourself up or, like, I don't know, like drive yourself insane. Okay. But um, I'll do it. I'll do it with myself real quick. And I guess some of my greatest struggles, like, all right, you ready, big guy? It goes like this. Some of my greatest struggles are I have hormonal acne um, as an adult male. I think a lot of common, yeah, oh, for sure. Most commonly, acne is in your teenage years, and when puberty ends, it goes away, and that's it. And I mean, you see, I mean, can you remember the last time you saw someone with it? It's rare. Most adults, Men, women, normal. Well, normal as in, the skin on my arm is the same exact as the skin on their face. No, mine is, it's a mixture of acne scarring and pimples and redness, and whatnot. And I mean, hey, just my genes. And I believe for the rest of my life, I will always have acne. And I do things to try to mitigate it and minimize it. But as far as really, like whoosh, okay, wow, just to be normal, like no acne. I could not imagine. And there's that one. And so, yes, that would definitely be a hindrance, so to speak, for dating, for confidence, for self consciousness, for social anxiety, for maybe even kind of affecting charisma, yeah, you could say, and a fear of not even public speaking, but just having the spotlight on you, just like when it's your turn to like comment something or say something in the work meeting, or in the circle at the bar, or going out for dinner with friends or whatnot, um at, at a romantic interest, and it's just, oh my god, do they hear what I'm saying? Are they really focused on my personality and who I am as a human being, or just all this crap on my face? Now hold on, I say that with good reason. That's one of my biggest ones. And just, I'm a huge overthinker. Okay, so there's another one. ADHD, you can throw that in there too. Restlessness, difficulty of focusing for prolonged periods of time on a single task. And what else? Okay, how I guess we can just roll with these for now. All right. So um, so that is a image thing. That's a beauty thing right there with the acne. And then it's a mental thing with the overthinking. Just, oh goodness, like right, too many thoughts. Okay, not enough living, experiencing, and taking action. Way too much. The A term for this is paralysis by analysis, and I definitely know what that's like. And then what did I say was the third one? And the and the ADHD. All right, so a lot of this is genetic. But when you let that run, okay, then it's actually really easy. See, remember, earlier I mentioned it's super simple. And so now this is exactly what I mean. What? Dating a wife? Marriage? Me? Have you seen my face? What woman in her right mind could possibly love a face like this? Focus. What build a business? What do you mean build a business? What do you mean, find a new hobby, or learn a craft, or get or cultivate a new skill? What are you talking about? That takes a ton of focus. That takes a ton of effort right there. That's, I would have to read and study, and probably watch videos and read some articles and look stuff up on the internet, and all that. I have ADHD. I can't do that. I mean, well, unless it's possible for me to just bounce from article to video to topic every 5 minutes. No, there's no way. It's absolutely no way. Um, you know, uh, Charisma. You know, social interaction, making friends. Okay, just, yeah, connecting with other human beings. What? I'm not going to be able to hear a word they say, because I'm going to be too in my own head. I'm just going to be overthinking everything. Too hypersensitive to self awareness and self consciousness, and all of that. How true are those things? My point, my point for all of this is, They are as true as I make them. See, brother, it always returns to the man. It always comes back to you. And I know at the same time that that can be for so many guys, that can be one of the greatest problems right there. It's always me, invisible. You know, who if I left tomorrow, there'd be no difference in this world, etc., etc., etc. But but again, at the same time, as true as those things can be in your reality, they stop. They stop when you take control of yourself. That's why you have to love yourself enough. You have to find yourself precious and worthy enough. You would take the time to assume this responsibility. I'm an incredibly dramatic man. So, my favorite metaphor for this is to wear your crown. Become king of your own life. You are. You absolutely are. That's why I call all you guys my fellow kings. I say that as kind of a title of respect and um, honor for a man that I see willing to say, okay, this is my life. This is my life, right? Right now, right now. Not everything that has already happened, and not everything that you believe will happen or that you want to happen. No, bro, just right here and right now, right here. You take it. That's kind of taking the throne as it is, just everything as it is. Okay, I will make it mine. So now you are somebody. It's not that you don't deserve someone else, it's not that you don't deserve people in your life, rooting for you, really cheering you on. But as a man, and I'm not saying this is right, I'm not saying this is how it should be. I only go on air tonight to say this because I believe it is how it truly is right now. You want to talk about the modern male human condition? How is it? How do you pull that off? No, 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 no. Get rid of everything. Get rid of, no, I really mean that too when I say get rid of everything. Like the money and love and romance and getting jacked and business, own your own business, tons and tons of whatever, wealthy, healthy, happy. No. What is it what's the best thing you could really do for yourself in order for you to ensure that you can just wake up tomorrow excited to be you? See right there, that has nothing to do with the work. That has everything to do with you want to be you. You want to live your life. Now your life can be absolutely awful, or your life can be your process, your journey, the work. One day at a time, scheduling it out. This is what your morning looks like. This is what your afternoon looks like. This is what your evening looks like. And you're going to do your very best to, like a true king, dictate all of it. You know, I mean, especially for men that really are alone right now in life. It really is just you all the time. Brother, that's going to come with its own difficulties and challenges naturally. You do not need to suffer needlessly. You do not need to suffer any more than you're going to for trying to be the best version of yourself. And in order to do that, you have to get to a space where you you gotta go first, so to speak. I love me. I am important. to myself. I deserve to be clean, to have a clean home, a clean room, a clean mind. I deserve I deserve to see, what could happen to me if I could just, give it a week, give it a few days, really give it whatever. You choose the time frame. Again, you are, I call you king. Okay, you dictate it for yourself in this way, and you watch what it does to you. You watch how it grows you, bro. This is I'm really just trying to press into a deeper antidote for when you have no desire to take part in your own life. I mean, nothing works with that kind of mindset. It's, because people would recommend, to get out of that, go work out, go lift, and take cold showers and do cold plunges, and get up earlier in the morning, join the 5 a.m. club, and start reading tons of books and whatever. All these things have their use. Okay, they're all tools, great, but it doesn't really matter if you, as the man, as the individual, you're not there. You don't, it doesn't resonate. You don't care about this at all. And so when a man loses that, and he can't care about, for whatever reason, he's unable to care about himself, and he can't care about his own life, he won't care about anything. And so to me, it's not a surprise at all. To me, lo and behold, society at large, the world very soon, is experiencing the consequences to have this amount of men, these many millions upon millions who just don't give a flying F. They don't care. It's this. It is a brutal existence that men have been through, in which they, for whatever reason, and it could be, it's really countless. There's so many different and unique walks of life we all come from as men, as individual men. But we all get to that point. So many of us are getting to that point where no one cares. So why would I? My answer to you is that you should care, and you need to care, because you have no idea what you are giving up. You don't. It's not possible. So right here, this next point of mine, I not to, hey, okay, literally by saying this, I'm opening myself up to challenge. So by all means, comment down below. I'll read it. I'll reply. Okay. You let me know what you think about all of this. I'm here to learn as well. Okay. But as of this moment, I don't believe it's possible to rebuttal this. So literally, I'm saying it's impossible. There is no rebuttal. And so I say that there's no rebuttal because no one can predict the future. That's why. That's why there's no, that's why it just doesn't exist. All that exists is if or if not, that you find out. That's it. There is no maybe. It will happen or it won't. Okay, sure. I mean, if you don't like those odds, I don't really like them either. Like it's like, yeah, come on, can we do better than 50-50? But hey, look, bro, fair enough. If it is 50-50, for me, this is just personal opinion. For me, that's so tough. Dude, that is a really tough gamble. 50-50? That's a flip of a coin. You're going to put your whole life on a coin, bro? What I mean is, what if it does land in your favor? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you'd be giving up. That's insanity. That is so freaking crazy. Hey, dude, we're talking about everything. Okay, it does not matter. I really don't care. Well, of course I care. No, no, no. I'm being again. I'm being dramatic. I do care about you, your story, where you're at right now, how old you are, and whatnot. You see, at the same time, though, I don't, because those none of those things disqualify you. That's why you shouldn't either. If you're alive, that's good enough. You're good to go, bro. If you're alive. If you're alive, that coin, it's in the air and it's flipping. If you want to see on which side it lands on, you have to try. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if I can, I try so hard to, like, when this stuff flies out of my mouth, I try so hard to, like, wait a minute, if I was sitting where you are, how would I take this? And it's like, no, I totally feel that, bro. It's like, 50-50, or I could just smoke and chill and game and corn and every single day, and that's it. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. But you have to imagine, though, potentially, if it if you win, if you make it, if you pull this off, okay, that's everything. That's the love of your life. That's the one true queen. Those are your kids. Those are your kids waiting to be born. This is what you really want to do for a living. This is what you always should have done for a living. It took time. It took life to happen to you for you to understand I was always supposed to go this way. It's so much. It's satisfaction. It's genuine fulfillment. It's waking up and you don't dread. It won't drag you. You'll want to live it. You'll wake up and it's like, oh my God, I get to be me. I'm so happy. Hey, I get one more. I get at least one more. I get one more day to do it my way. That can be glorious. That can be absolutely magnificent for you. And all of that is in the work. That's the only way to find out which side the coin lands on. If you bet right, you get it all. You get it all. If you're wrong, then you still get to see who you become and the man you were always meant to be. You still get that version of him because you still go through all the work it takes for you to become your best self. So, no, there it is. There it is right there. It the way that I see it, it doesn't make any sense to not try. Okay? That is probably the not trying or checking out or being a neat whatever you want to label it or call it. It's kind of all the same thing. It's just a man that has lost his passion and his zeal and his enthusiasm and his optimism to live life wonderfully, passionately. It all starts with you understanding I do matter. Because you absolutely do, bro. I know how hard it can be to begin to do this. Action is your best friend in this way. You're going to have to take some time. You're going to have to figure out for yourself, how do I prove to myself that I really do love me? You have to be kind to yourself in this way. You have to treat yourself as anything or anyone that you really find so, again, precious. Okay, this is the small acts of, like, try to get some more water, stay hydrated. That's very necessary for your health. Try to get, clean food, whole food. Try to get, a better nutrition. Try to change up your habits. Okay, maybe, you know wean, as in, come down a little, like shave a little bit off the top. You usually go for 2-3 hours, 4 or 5 hours, whatever, however much time you're clocking in on. What you usually do, your regular go-to's. you know my buddy used to say the or the usual. And you just a little bit, just enough that, this is a sizable chunk right here, half an hour or whatever, an hour, and you dedicate it to something else. You just try something else, and something that you care about, some kind of topic, something on the internet that interests you, and you check that out, just straight up. You change it up, you go outside, you go for a walk. Okay, maybe, try a light workout. You never worked out before, try getting into, some sort of, just maybe just a half an hour of, oh, what's this movement like, and you see for yourself. you know if you are in an environment right now and you're surrounded by, like, wherever you live, just not much has been done to anything for a really long time, that's a perfectly fine place to start, bro. Okay, a clean sink in the kitchen, or just, some clean fresh clothes, or really just a lot of uh just more space on your desk. A lot of junk and whatnot, and stuff that you don't really use is gone, and you give it a wipe. It makes a huge difference. And again, don't, please, I really don't. I know. I don't want you to find these options I'm thinking of right now as trivial or embarrassing or useless. Like, what is any of that going to do for me? Please don't underestimate any of this. Because why? Because you deserve it all. That's why. Because you, brother, you deserve to smell fresh and look fresh. You wherever you live, you deserve for that to be, a clean, conducive environment for, feeling better, doing better. Okay, because your skin, your body deserves a little bit of vitamin D. Okay, your mind deserves some peace, a little bit of dopamine detox right there. Take a break, go for that walk, get some fresh air. Okay, your lungs and your heart could use a little bit of, a light jog or some cardiovascular movement. Your muscles could use a pump. That'd be my favorite. And you go get a lift or something like that. Okay, all right. Your uh vices they got their teeth sunk into you. Okay, maybe it's like, okay, how about just like chill for tonight? Okay, and you try an hour, half an hour, you just try something else, just do something else. You don't have to watch that show, you don't have to play that game. They build, they compound. You keep this going, and there it is, brother, you are in your process. And that is the greatest act to witness of loving yourself. And if you ever need help, or you like conversations like this, kind of what I do here, I talk about anything and everything that goes into all of this good stuff, because you're watching the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find, aimed at male self-improvement surrounding philosophy, masculinity, wellness, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Kumo. I continue to reshape the modern male reality, giving any man who wishes to pull the very best out of himself a way to do that. Thanks so much for watching, bro. You like stuff like this, hit that subscribe button for me, and give me a like as well. I hope to see you real soon in my next episode. But until then, take it easy, take good care of yourself, and I love you so much. Peace.